Hi, I'm Sarah with Custom Pilates and Yoga, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can fix your bunion. Now, bunions are a common problem for both men and women, and honestly, unless you're just saddled with some bad DNA, there are exercises you can do to fix your bunion. Let's get started. Now, first thing that you want to do is take a look at your feet. Okay, you are looking for any sort of rounding here at the toe knuckle. Now, I have been working on getting rid of this bunion, so it actually looks really good on me. However, before, this big toe used to like to be over here, and so this caused kind of a rounding here at the knuckle. Now, when you're working on your bunion, you can do these exercises for both feet, or you can just do it for the one with the bunion. I recommend doing both, but today for the sake of brevity, we're just gonna do this one side. Now, I'm gonna work on my right side because it's normally my Treble D side. So, first thing we're gonna do is roll the foot with a tennis ball. So I like to use a somewhat dead tennis ball so it has some give. If you use a live tennis ball, it's going to have a lot more firmness, a lot more pressure, and if your feet are tender, as they may be, man, that could really hurt. So I like a tennis ball to have some give. Now, if you like that live tennis ball and you're thinking, what can I do to be more intense in my rolling? Step it up to a lacrosse ball. That will certainly get you there. Now, as I'm rolling, I'm rolling straight along the bottom of my foot, but in particular, you want to get up near the arch too. So you want to let that ball drift in toward the arch, and then I'm rolling from the base of my toes all the way down to my heel. Now you'll notice if you try to do your heel proper here, that's a little more unstable. All right, so just a little bit of rolling, and then we can go ahead and set this aside. Now, I want to talk to you about the cause of bunions. Lots of times when we have a bunion, it is because of tight muscles. Okay, so what happens is maybe these muscles on the inside the toe get tight and pull it in, or there could be other muscles. We have so many muscles in our feet, and when they get a little bit dysfunctional, then it causes some issues. So one of the next things I like to do after I have rolled is I'm gonna take my big toe and I'm gonna get it in alignment for where I think neutral is. And lots of times it's just picking it up with your fingers, scooting it, and then setting it down. Then I like to go through and get the rest of my toes, because honestly, if you're gonna have a good habit with that big toe, you have to encourage good habits with the other toes too. Then you're gonna pick this toe up and just very small circles here. So what I'm doing is really I'm encouraging stretching in all directions, and I'll turn here so you can get a side view too. Little circles, okay? Not a huge deal. And then we'll switch directions. So this is kind of loosening up the muscles. Now, the next exercise I like to do, I'm gonna take a seat for this one because I tend to get in here. So if bunions are caused, possibly, by tight muscles, remember this is unless, unfortunately, you have some bad genetics, then what we're gonna do next, I turn my foot on the side and I'm just gonna work on stretching. So my first joint that I stretch is this top knuckle of the toe, okay? Here's my toenail, and then I bend it right here. So I'm not to the base of the toe yet even. And I'm stretching these muscles that help keep this top knuckle healthy. And then when this feels good, when it starts to relax, I'm gonna take it down to this one. And so now what I like to do is I put my thumb on the bottom. I put my pointer finger up here on the bone. Okay, there's a bone that runs between this knuckle and this knuckle, and so kind of like I'm snapping my fingers. I push up with my thumb, I push down with my pointer finger. And you want to wait until those muscles feel like they're relaxing. Now, honestly, you could just leave it at that, but like I talked about, I like to go for total foot health. If I am in here for my big toe, I might as well get the others, because the muscle that is on the inside, there's a muscle on the inside of this toe too. And another thing about the toes, your big toe operates separately from these other four, but these other four toes work together. Okay, so if the cause of your bunion somehow ends up being a tightness from over here, you really want to go stretch these other toes too. So now that I've got my big toe stretched, I'm going to move to my second toe and do the same thing. And I normally just get up on the side of my foot. I've got my thumb on the bottom of the toe and then the pointer finger right on that bone. Nice stretch. And now for this, I'm trying to reach nice and long. And then I'll move to the middle toe and the fourth toe. And sometimes when you do this, your toes will pop. That's okay. And then down to the little toe. Get a good stretch. Okay, so now next up, we've got our feet. You want to work on spreading your toes as far apart as possible and specifically getting this big toe to come into a straight line with the outside edge of the foot. Okay, mine almost made it, came really close, but if it doesn't, you take your finger, you just give it a little scoot, and then go on through and take the rest of your toes and turn your toenails up toward the ceiling. My little toe is the toe now that needs the most help. And then we're just gonna hold. So you've got your toes all stretched out and we're just gonna hold here. And then pick up your foot, let your toes come in, spread them out, set it back down. See how you did. I did pretty well. And we'll hold. Make sure as you're doing this, don't let yourself roll down on your arch, okay? Don't let that ankle come all the way in. We want to be nice and aligned, and then release. And one more time, big stretch. Good. And release. So the takeaway from all of this is that you want to make sure to play with your feet. Plain and simple, that's what you need to do to fix your bunion. So I suggest when you're watching TV at night, or if you have worn shoes that make your feet feel uncomfortable, as soon as you take off those shoes, play with your feet, stretch them out, give those tight muscles a break. And the reason why I've come up with these exercises is because I've fixed my own bunion, but I've also fixed bunions for other clients. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions for me, and also if you have any other exercises that you've done to fix your bunion, put that in the comments below as well. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel. You aren't going to want to miss the videos that I release every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And also, if you want to find out more about bunions, you can go on over to my website, which is www.custompilatesandyoga.com. Thank you. A special thanks to Medicine Net for the image and to Active Isolated Stretching by Erin Mattis for some of the toe exercises.